Morning there, Sparky.
Hey.
What's going on?
Good, mate. How are you?
Still trying to wake up.
You look well, brother.
Thank you. How are you doing? You look well yourself.
Yeah, having a good time.
So you combed your hair for the event.
Yeah. You love it. You're jealous. Bring your camera down, buddy.
Huh?
Bring your camera down a bit.
Bring your camera down.
Oh.
This is still what?
I can just see heads. There we go.
How's that?
Good. How are you, sister?
Hi.
Oh, it's great to see you guys. I haven't caught up with you for ages.
So this is the new house?
Huh?
This is the new house?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where do you live now?
We live in Michigan now. Do you guys get snow over there?
No. Oh, not here.
No.
There are parts of Australia that get it. Like a couple of parts. Not much. But not where we live.
So have you seen snow before?
I have once when I was young. We went to the snow for a holiday.
We have snow fields. Like you can travel 4, 5, 6 hours to go to the snow, but it doesn't snow everywhere in Australia. In fact, only a few places.
Quite a
Wow.
novelty.
Yeah, it's hot.
Yeah, it's been snowing here a lot. We're like on the top of the United States, the very top, and Michigan, it looks like a hand. So when people ask you what part of Michigan you're from, they'll do this.
Ah.
So then you point out, the first time when we moved here, I had a guy at work, so where in Michigan are you going to? I'm like, Rochester? Yeah, where? I'm like, and he's doing this. I'm like, hey, you know. He's like, where? I'm like, what are you talking about? And that's when he showed me that. And I was like, so now I do it. Where are you from? So we're like right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So Michigan is the state.
Yeah.
And where is that in relation to where you came from? You came from Texas, didn't you?
Yeah.
It's about probably about a 20-hour drive.
Down?
Yeah, Texas is south. It borders Mexico.
Okay.
So what made you move?
Felt like a change.
The Father just opened doors and made a way, and we just obeyed. So we're kind of figuring out why we're here.
It's definitely not a move we would have made because,
Yeah.
well, especially for me, I don't like it here.
Yeah.
It's cold. Yeah, it's very cold.
Texas doesn't get cold?
No, Texas is like Australia. I mean, they're getting some snow now, but that's like...
Well, they got snow once, I think.
Yeah, it's...
It very rarely snows, like maybe once every few years it might snow there.
Yeah, but for the most part it stays pretty warm year-round. I mean, you get your colds morning and stuff like that, but it's not bad. It's nice. Good Mexican food. Really good Mexican food.
Were you able to, did you move like to find a better kind of work or more work? Well, everybody moves for a reason.
Yeah, when we decided that it was time to move, we just prayed, you know.
Well, when we decided it was time to move, it was more to switch jobs than move. So if we would have found a job in Texas, we would have stayed there.
Yeah. So it was, yeah, exactly. It was more to move for a better job, and wherever that job came, you know, and a job here opened up, and we prayed about it, and Father just worked it out. I mean, the whole thing, it was just incredible. You know, it was the way doors were being opened and how he provided financially for the move and stuff like that. You know, and it was pretty cool.
It was still a hard move because we were only in Texas for a year, but we had really made some close friends, believers. And out of all of our moves, that was really the first move where we had met believers our age, you know, and were really hungry for the word and hungry for change. No matter what, no matter how much they like doing something, if the word says not to do it, boom, they were ready to change right then.
Yeah.
You know, and it's really hard to find believers like that. And we found, you know, a couple families, and it was just, it was hard to move. And
we stay in contact with them, you know, through Skype and stuff like that, and you know, text each other and stuff like that. And but it's just awesome to see what the, you know, even the last couple of days, how the Father is just working in their lives. You know, it's just pretty cool to see how the Father's doing something and they're just readily and willing to do what it takes to line up with Him. You know, and no matter what the cost, you know, and it's pretty cool to see that and how the Father's just, and it's funny because what they kind of go through, it's like what we went through when we started walking this walk, you know, some of the struggles and the challenges and the, you know, getting rid of the fossilized customs in your life and stuff like that, you know. It's just pretty cool, and you know, it's neat, you know. It's cool how you see, sometimes you think you're the only ones, but it's nice seeing other people that are just as willing as you are, you know, to do what it takes.
Hello.
Where's Layla?
Oh, you're so tiny. How old is she now?
she is almost 16 months.
Oh, she's so tiny.
She is. She's a little itty bitty.
Oh, you're so gorgeous. Don't you look just like your daddy?
They're having a freezing moment. Can you hear us?
Oh, you're frozen.
Oh, so are you.
Yeah.
Can you hear us though?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, we can hear you now, but you're still frozen. Are we still frozen?
No, you're froze.
We're unfroze. Move around a bit so you can unfreeze. Well, you did say it's snowing there.
Better now?
Yeah.
Better, much better.
Yeah, how are you guys doing in Malakuta?
Yeah, love it.
It's hot.
My work, I finish at 4 every afternoon.
Oh.
I finish at 4 every afternoon at work, and we take the kids down the beach. So it's
Sounds tough.
It's tough, mate. You don't know what to do.
Sounds like you're struggling, brother.
The beach is free.
Nice.
Beach doesn't cost anything.
Yeah.
2 hours at the beach. Yeah, 2 hours at the beach, dinner, bath, bed every night. So, yeah, it's great. We've got a bit of a 1 year plan to, you know, stick around here and make some money. Drop some weight, get a few things prepared, fix up the caravan a bit more so it's a bit more suitable. Now that we've had our practice run. And, and that's in our mind, our plan. In a year or so we might head out again. So, yeah.
Awesome.
That is cool.
Yeah.
It's not easy, man. It's
No, it's not easy.
Yeah.
We've talked so many different scenarios. We're like, why don't we get a van and travel around America and meet all our friends in America? Only problem is, in order to count the cost properly, you'd need 10 grand in flights, and you'd need, 10, 15 grand to hire a a motorhome, you know, because you want to have some money up front. You don't want to just be flat broke with no motorhome. You get there, you don't want to be that spooky. So you're 20, 30 grand before you even start. So then when you get that kind of money, you're like, oh, when and if, you're like, oh, maybe we should put a deposit on a house if and ever you had that much money. So
exactly.
So then you go back to ground zero again, and you just go.
Yeah.
All our plans, you know how it is. So
we checked on flights to Australia, and for us it'd be around between $8,000 and $9,000. So we're like, we'll have to wait.
Yeah, we'll get the money. Like, you know what we could do with this?
That's right.
You could come to Malakuta where it's sunny and warm.
Yeah. Go to the beach every day, right?
That's right. That's right.
We used to live in Florida, and right by the beach. It's nice. Yeah.
Why did you move out of there?
Long story.
Yeah, that was a big, long story. Do you want to share?
No.
Are you hunted by the police?
Close. No.
All right.
Not your kind of story.
No, not that kind. Just long story.
Yeah.
All our kids were born there, except for Layla. And
and the new one.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
Good. I'll be 20 weeks tomorrow.
Ooh.
Halfway there.
We'll be like you guys now. Número 5.
Número 5.
Número 5, sí. ¿Tú sabes hablar en español? Yeah, I know.
I hope I didn't just swear at you.
It's like speaking in tongues half the time.
Oh, yeah. Talk to myself anyway. So this will be number 5 for them. Number 5, fantastic.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
So Chris was down here, or still is?
I think they're coming back today or tomorrow. Today. I think on face.
Yeah, yesterday was apparently, I think, their last day in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Oh, they went to Hawaii?
Yeah, just for the last few days. They went to New York and Hawaii just for a bit of a holiday for a few days.
Yeah.
Oh.
I've known them for 20 years and they haven't had a holiday. So I think that since they were going to spend the money to come over, I think he wanted to take it to a couple of shows. And after all the cold weather, thaw out for a couple of days on the beach.
Yeah, he went to New York at a bad time because they were getting a big storm there not too long ago.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So yeah, no, we haven't heard from him for 3 weeks. The internet connection is probably in and out, so we'll be very excited to catch up.
Yeah.
All the adventures.
Well, that's pretty good. Good for him, man. Hawaii, that's nice.
But I tell you what, when they were going, that's when our plans to go to the States started that day.
Course.
We went for a walk, and our whole walk, we took the kids walking at the beach. There's like bush tracks everywhere. And we were walking for like 2 hours, and that whole 2 hours we spent planning our trip to the States then to see everyone and do our tour, to go and visit everyone we know, and
yes.
What would be awesome is if you could find believers that have a motorhome that will be willing to let you borrow it.
Well, that would be cheaper, yes.
That's nice.
Yeah. Because then you don't have to worry about the gas.
Fellow believers, you hear that?
Yes.
We need a motorhome in the United States.
Yeah. That's a great idea. Man. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was about $5 or $6 grand a month for the motorhome, and we wanted to have like 3 months or so plan, like have about 3 months there if we were going to travel around. So that was that was like 15 grand. We were like, far out. I mean, even though I don't know, it would be stressful if we didn't have it all up front. So that's why we wanted to be prepared. So, but it was. I think it's about $8 grand for return flights for our whole family, which actually isn't bad.
For a big family.
Yeah, for the size of the family and this length of the trip. Like for us to go, because we've then talked about all different things we want to do, and just looked into flights to other places just to go for a holiday. Because Mark and I, it's our 10-year wedding anniversary at the end of this year, and we went to Bali for our honeymoon. And so Mark's like, oh, let's go back to Bali. We'll take the kids with us and everything, and we'll go for a week or something for a holiday. when I looked into flights to take the kids to Bali, which is only, what, a 6-hour flight from here, as opposed to a 23-hour flight or whatever it is over there, it'll cost us $6,500.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was like, I said, better off going to the States. Stuff this. I'm not going to Bali for a week when I have another $1,500, and we could be going over to the States. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's not bad, the price. We did think it would be a lot more than that. So
Considering
considering the distance and the amount of people we have.
I'd be scared to fly that far, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like flights already. Then to fly over an ocean like that. Yeah. But guys getting ready for Passover?
Yeah. More to the point, instead of silly delusions.
It's okay to dream, right?
Yeah. There's no piles of money over here, mate. We find $1 under a lounge cushion. We're like, yeah!
Yeah, exactly.
What can we go and eat?
Yeah. You're doing pretty good. We found a dime and got excited.
Yeah, Passover, very, very excited is not the word, is it? Yeah, well, a lot of cleaning out. Every year. Cleaning out, you sort of, YAHUSHA sort of, it feels like YAHUSHA comes closer and sort of, don't like that, don't like this, don't like that,
Yeah.
I mean, he does that all the time, but you just feel it a bit more at Passover, like part of the land. Get rid of the land.
Yeah. We watched a little bit of the Torah talk last night, and Teresa and I got to talking about it, how we had to clean the house, and we have a toaster oven. We'll probably end up having to throw that away. And also cleaning that baby out, so just throw it away and be done with it.
Just shake all the crumbs out.
Chiseling hammer to it, scrape off all that leaven out of there.
I hadn't thought of that. Yeah, we don't have a toaster anymore.
No,
But
we don't have a toaster.
Toaster's full of it. Yeah.
So, I mean, we got it for like $5, so just, it's a cheap little thing.
Yeah, we learned to buy cheap because we threw out a couple things last year. We tried cleaning, and it's like, oh, forget it. So now we just buy those things like the toaster and just buy it real cheap.
But
so you use it kind of as a spring clean, do you?
Yeah.
Might as well.
Yeah.
You might as well. And what's funny too, though, is you learn a lot during that. You wouldn't think. You know what I mean? But, when you start thinking about it, you clean your house. You also have to clean your house. And sure enough, you think you have it all. You think you're good. You double check everything. You're all right. You go through the season. And then sure enough, you find something. Slice of bread under the stove or, and it's like, man. But then it's like our spiritual life too, you think you got everything. But there's always a skeleton in the closet, and that's just the way it is, it's until we are transformed and into our new bodies, there's always going to be issues that we're dealing with. There's always going to be things that we're going to deal with, and that's just the way it is, and it's how you raise up to the occasion, it's how you deal with it that counts. You can't go beating yourself up over it because you forgot the piece of toast behind the stove, It is what, just realize we still live in a sinful world, we still have a sinful body, and as long as we're living in this, there's always going to be an issue. And you just pick up the pieces and move on. And don't let it beat you down. Just keep going. You keep striving. You keep your eyes focused on the mark. You just keep going, Don't look at the situation around you. Don't look at the waves that are roaring up around you. And just stay focused, keep your eyes on Yeshua, and that's it.
Mm.
You know?
Mm.
Things are going to happen. It's going to get worse as the time draws closer.
Mm.
You know?
Mm.
It's going to get to the point where Satan is going to deceive even the very elect.
Mm.
You know? And some are going to depart from the faith.
Mm.
And it's going to happen. It's the way it is. And that's why you see people who have their focus and their attention on a person rather than Yeshua. What happens when that person falls? You know, we're just done. We're going to fail. You know, it's our nature right now.
Yeah.
You know, it's the way it is. And a lot of people don't realize that. And hopefully they have their focus on Yeshua and not on man, because when that man falls, he takes people with him, you know?
Mm.
It happens.
Mm.
And some of those could be our closest friends, you know, and but it's just things that Scripture talks about that's going to happen, and you know, it's good to talk about the nice, good things that's going to happen afterwards, but there's going to be a lot of ugly things happening, you know, and people need to be aware and know that that's going to happen, and just stay focused on Yeshua, you know. You always stay afloat.
Yeah.
So.
Last Tabernacles, you went away, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did something happen to you guys? Oh, in a good way. Oh, just come straight out and say it. I felt like something happened. Like before, you seemed to be like what's the word? Floating around assemblyless, like we have always been. And after that, you seem to be. I don't know. Did you join a group or something?
No, we're still assemblyless.
Yeah.
And that's good. We made a lot of friends.
Yeah.
You know. That was our first Tabernacles, and it was a life-changing experience for us.
Mm.
It was incredible. You know, it really was. It was just.
It was awesome getting to see so many.
Yeah.
And for our children, that was the first time that our children were actually able to be around other children that walk the walk for the most part that we do. Obviously, there's always going to be little differences here and there. But just for them to see other children using the true name and to see other children worship, and it was a really neat experience. And for us we met a few families that we had been in touch with online for several years that we had never met before. So that was really nice. And I know it was
we had you know, when we went, we were going to leave, like, we were just going to be there for a few days, and then we were going to leave, and because I had to get back to work, you know. And the first day there, you know, we had our camper set up, or tent set up, and all this and all that. And we go up to the pavilion to use the bathroom, and we met up with this guy, real short guy, and we just started talking, and the guy started sharing his testimony, you know, and he was going to do the same thing. He was going to come for a couple of days, and then he was going to leave early. And, you know, he's sharing this with me, and I'm like, I didn't say much, you know, I'm just sitting there listening, and yeah, you know, okay. And then he says one thing to me. He goes, you know, who goes to a wedding feast and leaves early? You know, here is the most important feast of all, and I'm going to leave early? And I'm just sitting there, I look at the man, and I'm like, brother, I just started crying. My family had left, you know, to go back to the tent. And I just bowed my head, and tears just, whoo. I'm like, whoa, you know? Who does that? Who goes to the feast of all feasts and leaves? I mean, it must not have been that important to them, you know? And I'm like, I was going to do the same thing. I'm so glad, you know? I'm so sorry. So here it is, 2 grown men in the middle of a campground crying like little girls, you know? I'm like, man, who's going to do? I'm not doing it. I'm going back up telling my wife we're staying.
Will you help me?
So he's looking at me like I just done went over the deep end, you know what I mean? Guy's really short, you know, and so he's looking at me like, are you all right, man? You know? So I went back, and my wife and one of her best friends, they were trying to talk me into staying the minute we got there. And I was just dead set on, no, we're leaving, you know, we got to go. I got to get back to work, you know. And that right there just did me in. And I already knew after that day I was going to be in for one heck of a week. And I went back to the camper or the tent. And buddy, it's a good thing it didn't have a solid door because I would have been like, poof. So I had to be the zipper, and I had to be real delicate because we were going to return this baby, you know what I mean? Baby, we're staying. What? You know, we're staying the whole thing, man. Yeah, I don't care. I'll tell my boss like it is. I was brave for a little bit, you know. So I'm going to email him right now. But, no, man, we stayed, and my boss wasn't too happy. That's partially the reason why we're not there anymore. So, but I was to that point. I said, you know what? Who cares? Yeah. You know, all of this is who cares? Yeah. Who cares about position? Who cares about how much money you make? All this crap is going to go away anyways. You know, how important really is this stuff? Who cares? You know, we're going to be in a better place. We're going to have a bigger house. We're going to have things that we didn't even know we like is going to be there. You know?
You're talking just like someone who has nothing like us.
Exactly. And you know, I mean, and really, you know, you hear some of these people who have things, and it's like, it's that, you know, it's they're so bound by that. You know what I mean? It's just, if we want to, we can pick up and go, and I mean, we've done it so many times, you know, which is probably why we don't have none. It's just, we just sell stuff. Here, give it away. I mean, whatever, just, you know. But then that week there, we built a sukkah, you know, and we just jumped right in there. We built a community sukkah, and that was pretty cool. And it's just a lot of things happened there, man, that really, I mean, I've never cried so much in my life like I did that week. It was just one thing after another, one thing after another. We had a little bit of a situation there with a gentleman causing trouble in the camp, you know, and as soon as I got there, I got invited to be part of this group of men that was like, here's what I thought. The main guy comes up to me, he goes, Hector, we'd like you to be part of the security detail. I'm like, security? Yeah, I can do that. Yes, sir. He goes, all right, well, here's the scriptures, and we're going to walk around the camp and pray. And I'm like, we're going to do what?
Give me a flashlight.
You mean we're not going to be carrying a club and a flashlight? Or he goes, no. He goes, oh, I'm like,
spiritual security.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, sure, why not?
You have to stand on the gate and watch.
Yeah, hey, dude, that was the best time ever.
Wow.
You know, of my life. We had like 3 shifts late into the night up until 6 o'clock in the morning. And we would partner up with another gentleman and we just walked around the camp reading scripture and praying.
At night?
At night, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
With flashlight, watching over the camp, man. And it was just, I was like, man, this is so cool. And then, you know, we got to share testimonies with, because we were paired up with somebody I didn't even know, you know, and we started to get to know each other. And
is this a dangerous area?
No, it was a campground deep in the woods, you know, and but it was more a spiritual thing, you know, just to pray over the camp, see what's going on. But anyways, we did have a problem with this one guy. He was just causing trouble through the camp. And we were at a service, and behind the pavilion they had a temple, you know, a gathering place and stuff like that. And we come walking around the back. It was very poorly lit. Well, this guy was across the parking lot shining a laser in people's eyes. Well, as we were walking down, I saw the laser hit my eyes, and I'm like, whoa. This girl slipped and fell on rock, you know, and I look up at the balcony, and sure enough, I see the kid with the little pen sitting over there shining. And, buddy, that was it for me. I went off the chain, you know. I went down there, and it's like the kid didn't even see us until we got halfway across the lot. So he comes running down the balcony, and I just confronted that kid, and he, you know, just got real stupid, and I just said, and I got real stupid, yeah. I just went off I just lost it, you know. And he went, you know, he got kicked out of the camp. He did 0 to 60 in less than 10 feet, you know, I mean, it was just a whole crazy ordeal. But the next day, he came back, and, you know, we all got together, and we started talking about the situation. We prayed, and the Father just laid it on my heart that, you know, I needed to go back and repent to that kid for the way I acted. But this kid is a non-believer, you know. He didn't participate in nothing. He was just always in his, you know, they had a little section there with hotels, like little rooms that you can rent and stuff like that. So he was in one of those, and nobody ever knew he was there because he never came out and played volleyball with us or nothing like that, you know. And so by the end of the week, that kid was out giving people a hug. He came up to me and just said, Hector, man, I'm sorry. I'm glad you did what you did. It turns out that he came from a really abusive home and, you know, things like that. So he was hurt, you know, and he just wasn't used to all the love that was being shown, you know. And he helped take down the sukkah and everything. And it was just really cool, man. It was just, that was life-changing for me because if I used to be the old me, it was, you know, I used to have a really bad temper and bad attitude about things like that. You look at me wrong. Yeah, it's just stupid behavior, you know. But a lot of things happened. We had, I mean, just crazy events. But it was just, it was neat to see how the Father was working in people's lives, you know. It's like you could see his hand there. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, you know, you pray about something and then you hear about the answer later. here we would pray and we would like literally see it being answered, like right there.
Wow.
You know, it was just like, wow. You know, it's just how people's lives were being changed, and it's like you saw it instantly. It was like, I mean, it was just crazy. It was a neat experience for us, and well, yeah, it was life-changing moment, and it's just been crazy ever since, man. You know?
So was that an organization that put that together? Was that an assembly or?
It's Elia.com.
Yeah.
It's just an online assembly, if you will.
Do they have a teacher I would have heard of?
Yeah, there's Tom Martinzik is the guy who puts on the. He organizes the event and stuff like that. So it's not like an official. There's a headquarters or not
secret handshake.
Yeah, nothing like that. It's just a guy that just has a website, and he does every Shabbat. He like, for example, today at noon, he does a live study, and starts off with praise and worship music, and then he does this little teaching deal, and then it goes on to he opens up his phones to people to call in, ask questions, or share their testimony and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. And then along with that, there's a little chat room that you can jump in and talk to people there and stuff like that. So and that's all it is. It's there's not a temple, if you will.
Yeah, there's probably about 200. Maybe around 200 people, I forget.
That show up to the
with adults and children, and they're from everywhere, from Canada, Florida, just pretty much from all over the United States. Just a bunch of people that not too many people are actually close to each other, so it's everybody just meeting everybody, and
you have a lot of different viewpoints there, and I've gotten to the point with that where Yahweh, Yahuwah, Yahweh, just like Brother Lou says, just love, just love. Everybody, not one person has all the answers. Everybody has a piece of the puzzle. You know what I mean? And we can learn from everybody. My dad used to be a pastor, and he used to always say, you eat the meat and spit out the bones. It's you take what you can, the rest just whatever, But as long as we stay focused on His truth and His word, you know what to discern what's right and wrong.
Yeah.
It's when you just start listening to one person and take whatever he has to say as truth, and you don't go back and check. That's where people start to, get weird.
It's just like they fall into the same thing as church. You sit there, listen to one person, and take everything that they say as truth.
Yeah.
And we're all human. We don't know everything, and we're eventually gonna slip up quite often.
It's
I sensed you'd had. You seem to say a lot of stuff back around Tabernacles, and I thought, they've had a massive experience at this thing they've gone on. And then not long after that, you changed a few of your names slightly for the curator, and I thought, I don't mind what you call them, I just meant, they must be meeting with new people or something. That's why. That's as far as my... and then just a few things you'd say on Facebook, I thought, that's different. Because normally you're a lot more just happy. Not happy, no, you're joking with me a lot more. Silly. So where's Hector gone? He's serious. He's gone serious. He's gone serious. He's not taking the piss.
What do you mean? Like,
I don't know. I just said, oh, they must have gone to an assembly or something when they went to Tabernacles or something.
oh yeah.
When you go to big gatherings, sometimes there's big things that go on, and us little people look up and go, oh wow. You just sometimes you can get overwhelmed, and I just said to Amy, I hope they didn't get overwhelmed. I hope they had a good time.
Oh no, dude, man, I grew up in the circus.
Yeah.
I've been hammered enough by the circus to know better.
Yeah.
My dad was a Pentecostal preacher. So the circus of all circus.
Fire and brimstone.
Yes, sir. Hanging off chandeliers but I don't.
I think a lot of it was right after we lost our baby and we were going through a lot.
Yeah, when I think a lot changes when we lost our previous child.
That was the same time, was it?
Yeah, it was just like a month or two before that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And it was hard, It was it really changed a lot of our perspective on things, on being judgmental and stuff like that. We just
Yeah. We don't have all the answers, do we?
Yeah.
One day.
And it's okay not to, you know what I mean? That's and I think that's where we need to come to realize is, yeah, we don't have the answers, but you know what? It's okay not to. Maybe we don't. Maybe it's a good thing.
It's how we handle the situation when we go through it.
It's how you come out at the end.
It's something that we had never expected to happen to us because we don't do stuff with the medical system. And before we had this mindset, if they only knew what the medical system was about, this could happen or that could happen. And and then when we went through that situation, it really made us, take a step back, and where we thought we weren't judgmental, we were extremely judgmental, and our eyes were never open to that until we lost our baby. And then we wonder why. What did we do? What is wrong in our life? And there's always going to be something wrong, but the Father's not going to punish us because of it. He will bring to light, show us what's wrong, and so we have the chance to make the decision if we're going to change or not. But and it's still hard because we just passed 3 weeks ago. We just passed the due date of when the baby was due. And that's really hard, especially now that I'm expecting again. It's like, it's just really strange. It's like, here we are, we were supposed to be bringing our baby into this world, and now, we're bringing another baby. And even now it's been several months since we lost our baby, and it's still a very emotional thing to go through. And still wonder why. And and at first it really put a lot of fear in me, this pregnancy, because it's like, well, what's different this time than last time, And so there's been a lot of battling in my mind with fears and what ifs and stuff, and I still don't know what's different, So can just pray and continue to stand on the word and know that. Go ahead.
No.
That's okay.
Like, I think I before kids and probably the first 2 or 3 kids in particular, I was incredibly judgmental of every other parent because they were never, no one else ever did anything right. Now I've got 5 kids, I realise that I should just shut up because you never know what anyone else is going through. I've got 5 very different children, and as each child comes along, you just go, so that's why they did things that way. Now I feel like an idiot. But my point was, I think that sometimes we go through experiences so that we can understand what it's like for other people, so that you don't, like, one day someone may come along in your path, it may even be years from now, who goes through what you went through, and you'll know what it's like, and you'll know exactly what to say or exactly how to comfort them because you've experienced it. And sometimes I think that he gives us these experiences so that we can be there for other people. Like, you just don't know what that is leading up to. So, I just think, I'm sure everything's fine now, but, like with this baby.
It's cutting out for a minute.
Oh, was it?
Go get her.
And I know it can be hard. Can you hear? Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
It can be hard, particularly when nothing is different this time. Because I had a miscarriage with our first pregnancy, but I had just come off the pill, and so our whole rationalisation of that was, I still had those hormones in my system, and that's what did it, so you keep that in your head, but you always have that fear then, and that was my first pregnancy, and 5 later, I still am petrified for the first 12 weeks, and then even beyond that, and nervous, because I think something's going to happen because of what happened the first time. And funnily enough, my first miscarriage was there was no bleeding, no nothing. It was it was a blighted ovum miscarriage. So the baby died, but it wasn't miscarrying, and there was no sign other than 1 dot of blood that I was miscarrying. And yet, with my other 5 pregnancies, I don't think Josiah, but the others, for the first 3 months, unless I'd taken a pregnancy test, I wouldn't have even known. I keep getting my cycle, everything's the same. And so that's the thing. So I freak out because I'm going, I must be miscarrying, but I never am. And so, I can understand that fear that you have, and it didn't go away for me. But, with Aaliyah in particular, because she was the first one that we didn't have any medical support or medical associations whatsoever, whereas with the other 4 boys, I'd gone to a hospital and had a midwife the whole way through the pregnancy. With Aaliyah, I had no one and didn't have anything done the whole time, and just sort of tried to feel through my body, and
still haven't.
And Aaliyah's still never been to a doctor, which I'm pretty proud of. I know, she's nearly 2 years old, and I'm like, woohoo!
Ain't that cool?
I know, it is, isn't it? It's a cool thing to say. And yet some people go, oh my goodness, she's going to die of something.
In the cold witchcraft.
I seriously had someone say to me, she may just drop dead of a heart problem, now, because she's never been to a doctor. And I just looked at her and went, I think we're going to have to agree to disagree on this one.
Yeah.
Ain't that funny how people get?
Isn't it? They're paranoid.
It's much better than putting poison through them.
Yeah, that's a better idea. Yeah. But yeah, like I've been seeing, you've been writing things on Facebook, and what you're saying now through the pregnancy and coming up to the birth, as the closer I got, I'd start to get those fears come on me, and I had to stand, I had to read scriptures and sing songs and do things that kept me strong and believing, and knowing that no matter,
I wasn't around when you were singing songs. That's exciting. Is that what you're doing?
Or listen to them anyway.
Yeah.
Particularly when she went more overdue than any of the boys ever had as well, which freaked me out a bit more, and not knowing what to do, because I was determined not to go anywhere near anyone medical. But I had to stand on that, knowing that, and just keep praying. And I had my list of things that I that I was praying for constantly. Placenta to be delivered quickly, no bleeding. And at the end of it, we look back, and every single one of them was answered perfectly, and it was a better birth than I've ever had. And so I just looked and I thought, when you're in tune with him, everything goes the way it's meant to. And at the end of the day, no matter what happens, no matter what the outcome is, he was in control of it and he wanted that to happen. Yeah. So trusting that and believing that and knowing that that's the only thing you can know sometimes is that he was in control of it. He wanted that to happen. I don't know the reason, but that's what happened. That's how it all went. Then, you know, it can give you a bit more confidence. But it's still nerve-wracking, you know, coming up to that, the birth and all that, and the closer you get to it, just staying strong and believing that everything's like he's in control of everything and looking after you and looking after the baby and, you know, but it'll be so exciting. I'm excited.
It is, and I think that's more so now than before. We have to be so trusting the Father, you know, because, and we need to practice now while we can, because that time's coming where we ain't going to have no choice in the matter. You're either going to trust Him or you don't want to know the other way. You know, it's get with the program while you can, you know, it's because things are about to get hairy and we need to get to the point where we know His voice, where we can discern His voice, because when He says, hey, it's time to move, you need to know and be for sure, you know. Don't even go into your house, pick up your belongings, just go, you know, just go. He's going to take care of you, you know. The Hebrews, their clothes didn't wear out for 40 years, you know. Ain't that nasty, though, wearing the same pair of underwears for 40 years? I mean, but they didn't wear out, you know, same pair of shoes. I mean, that's cool, you know. He took care of them. He's going to take care of us. He's going to provide for us, you know. He's going to, you're good, man, you know. Relax. Chill out. I'm taking care of you. Yeah. You know? Yeah. And that's awesome, you know, that's how we need to be, man. It's just a lot of people are looking at the things that are happening now and they're freaking out. You know? They're getting scared, they're getting paranoid, oh my gosh. But I mean, if they knew Him, if they knew His truth, hey, He's gonna take care of us, you know? We don't have to worry about those things. We need to be aware of those things because He says, hey, I'm going to tell you what's happening. I'm going to let you know what's going on so you don't get scared. You know? I mean, it's exciting to see the things that are happening because that's telling us, hey, He's near. It's close. Look up to the skies. Because your redemption is drawing near, you know? I mean, brother, I'm ready to sit down and have that meal. You know what I mean? Let's get this done and over with. Let's do it, you know? I mean, let's just do it, man. Let's get it done. Let's go. Do what you got to do with this world. And let's just, you know, it's funny how before in the circus, we were always thinking about the rapture. Ooh, what's that going to be? What's that going to be like, you know? Yeah. But now it's like our focus is changing to, man, I wonder what it's going to be like in the millennium. You know, we're done past the rapture point or whatever, you know. Now it's like, wow, that 1,000-year reign, what's that going to be like? What are we going to be doing? You know what I mean? It's, man, that's going to be so cool. Yeah. You know? And I don't want to be that guy still here saying, hey, there goes one of them. You know, I want to be one of them. You know what I mean? Let's just do this. You know, I'm ready.
I don't think you'll see it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the only way any kind of flesh will survive what's coming is to be transformed.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy, man? You know, it's just cook it up, burn it. Let's do this, you know?
Yeah.
let's get going. Let's have that wedding feast and let's do this thing.
It's very encouraging chatting with you guys because you do sometimes lose sight of the point when you're dealing with a lot of young children, and when you're just talking about when you were back in the circus, I just think I used to always just think, oh well, I'm not going to make that. I'm not going to make that. You know, as if that didn't happen for me. You know. Whether it be a rapture, whether the rapture came at the beginning or the end or the middle or wherever it changed. Every couple of years it changed. So, you know, I just thought, oh no. And you hear that voice, you're not going to make it, you know. Whereas I don't hear that now, you know. I don't hear that anymore. Sometimes you get, oh, you better pull your socks up. But like, it's just like, it's more about what he's doing.
Yeah.
Like, I think I asked Lou that a year or so ago. It's like, how do you know that you're in the first resurrection? You know, and he said, well, it's not even about me or my business or my, you know, I'm just doing what I'm meant to do. And I thought, well, that's better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's up to him who's going to make the first resurrection. I mean, we have to be striving, but it's not. Take your mind off yourself and think of all the lost people who may not even make the second one. You know,
exactly.
So put your head in the game in the harvest. So
see, the circus is all about me. It's all, you know, it really is. Now that we know what we know, when you think back on it, it's all about self. You know, and when it's not that it's even the circus or it's just when you're not in his truth. Period. Be it what it may be, it's all about self. If it's not in his word, if it's not in his truth, it's about self. You know, whatever denomination or whatever, you know, if it's not his truth, it's about self. So when you come into his truth, into his true light, you could care less about self. It's about him and what he can do. You know, and that in itself sets you free. You know, will I make it? Love. It's all that matters. You know? Just love. I mean, people need to stop judging. They need to stop pointing fingers. Man, just move on, brother. You know? Just get over it, you know? Get with the program. Cheer up a little bit. Stop being so serious. Stop. I mean, you know, have a little fun. It's going to be okay. You know? It really is. I mean, it's all good. See you up. You know?
That's wonderful.
Just pass me the salt. I won't need it, but no, it's exciting, man. It's really exciting to see what's happening, and you know, we lived in Texas for just 1 year. We met Colin. We didn't meet Colin and Tina, but we were getting, you know, that's funny too. We were getting ready to head down there and check them out. But then we ended up moving. We were just like a week or two from meeting them. Yeah, and then we ended up moving. And
that's a quick move.
I know.
That's like out of the blue.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it was all after Sukkot too.
Yeah.
That's the last time I ever go to Sukkot.
I got fired from my job.
Yeah. And but you know, it's people think we're crazy. Why are you moving so much? You know, you need to stay. You got a family. You don't need to get grounded and rooted. Well, yeah, I already am. No, you're not. You know, brother, I'm rooted where it needs to be. You know, our roots are not in this world. You know, we're rooted and grounded, but not in this world. You know, and if the Father says, "Hey, move," you know, you better listen. things are not going to go so well for you.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, when we stumbled literally into Malakuta after 3 weeks on the road and some technical issues, we were, I'm sure you heard about it. We just didn't feel good at all. We're like, even sometimes now we look at this tropical paradise. We're on the lake, the inlet, the beach, everywhere here, and if your mind's not there, you can't enjoy it. And a couple of months ago, Chris said to me, "Oh, how are you all going? You're saving money. You're going all right? Yeah, good. Yeah, we're getting ahead slowly, paying off all the credit cards that we clocked up years and years ago, and they cut them all up, but you still got to pay them." And I said, "Yeah, we're slowly getting ahead." And he said, "Have you ever considered that you're actually doing what they were doing in the Book of Acts? You're just going where the Father wants you to go. Yahusha's sending you out." You all right?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, he just said, "Have you ever thought of you're having a real experience with Yahusha, and he's sending you out, And that's all right.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
We'll get the club."
That's where I drew the midnight straw.
Yeah.
Our children are such a blessing with how much they help out.
Yeah.
It's
gets easier.
Oh, good.
It gets a lot easier. We had our first 3 were boom, 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 all in diapers at one time.
And then this happens.
Yeah.
I didn't share it. I ripped it off.
But yeah, now they help out and they like it. They love to help out. They fight over who gets to help, and it's definitely a blessing.
But you were saying.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, that's all I was saying. I was just saying that that we weren't feeling too good about our situation. We felt like we kind of stuffed up again. We're supposed to be having this exciting trip around Australia. It's all about the kids, give them a life, and then we're, broken down and stuck in this town. And I was happy with the job, still happy with the job. But and Chris said, "You realise you're flying with Yahusha? They never knew where they were going. They never knew."
Yeah.
Matthew 28, go out into all the world. He said he said that was the one scripture he always had the most trouble with, because he wasn't going into the world. I mean, Lou's worked out a way. Most people have worked out a way now to do it on the internet, which is great. But he said prior to that understanding, he'd always struggle with going out into the world and preach on the highways and byways, go everywhere. The word's got to get out. He said, "Well, you guys are doing that. You should be encouraged." And it was encouraging, because we don't know where we're going next. The idea, we're not short of ideas. So, it's just a matter of what's going to pan out.
Yeah.
Yahusha's in control of everything. Like we look back, when did we first move to Sydney? 3, 4.
The second, or where we moved back. Sorry. 2010. Beginning of 2010.
3 years ago. Yeah. And I actually wrote Lou and Phyllis a letter, and I said, "Look, we're about to leave Queensland, and we're contemplating whether to open a salon in Sydney, or we're contemplating on coming over to America and living there." And back then, we didn't really know them. I'd never spoken to them. I just tour.
We didn't know. We hadn't done Skype yet.
No, didn't do anything.
Didn't know anything about Skype.
It's Torah Institute. It's this massive, huge movement, and I'm thinking. I thought. So I was like going for a job application. I thought, "Can I come and get a job with you guys?" And I don't care if I mow the grass. Can I come? At least come and do something different. And I think in a nice way, he said, "Well, we don't have many people here, mate. We can't afford to pay you. We can't afford to pay you anything." So, we said, "Okay, well, we'll do the other one." And since talking to him, the last couple of years, he's like, he wants to get out of America. So we're thinking, well, maybe we shouldn't be planning to move there.
Yeah.
But we'd love to come for a holiday. But YAHUSHA knows. So where he wants us next. We just get restless, I think. We get really restless. The kids have gone down to the local school, and a couple of them, we just see, the behaviours change a little bit, and we're like, I don't like that, We're not going to yank them out yet because we're still going to stay in town a bit longer, but we don't want to do the whole school thing, really. We see their behaviours change, they're getting influenced by other things.
There was a lot of pressure in this town to do the school thing, and there was one family homeschooling, and they were a Christian family, and we met them at the beach one day. Their kids are older than our kids anyway, they're like 10 and 12 or something, and they, we only met the dad, and oh my goodness, he was full on, in Pentecostal, far out. We nearly died. We're just sitting there at the beach, swatting flies, thinking, go away,
I felt the fire,
Yes,
G-O-D on my legs, man.
The first thing he said to me was, he's looking out and he goes, at the kids playing in the water, he goes, 5 kids. Did you have natural births or cesareans? This is just him. And I'm going, is this serious? And I'm like, right? Hi, nice to meet you. My name's Amy.
Wow.
Yeah. And then he's sitting there, then he started talking about the fire. He felt the fire coming up his legs. And I'm sitting there thinking, oh my goodness, he was getting chastised for something. What did he do wrong? Mark goes to me afterwards. No, that means he felt the power in him. Yeah. I was just like, oh wow, I thought he was actually being humble and telling us he'd done something. He was telling us how he was healing a man with cancer. And so, anyway, he told us there's a lot of pressure.
Step aside here for a minute.
Glory was falling.
Buddy, you got a bad brimstone coming at you. I better move.
So yeah, that was full on. And so, and being the only other homeschools in town, they're like, come over and visit whenever you like. And I'm just like, oh crap, I hope they don't know where we live. And it's really bad because when we see them at the beach now, the kids will go, oh look, there's our homeschooling friends, and Mike and I go, duck.
Start digging the cave in the sand, huh?
Put your head in the sand. Let's bury ourselves.
You already got a hiding spot out there, huh?
One thing he did say to us was they'd had a lot of pressure from the town to put the kids into school while they'd been there, and they were actually trying to sell. They had a bed and breakfast, and they're actually trying to sell it to get out of town because they hate it here so much. Because it's
really,
yeah. Remember he said that, and because they'd had a lot of pressure to put the kids in school. Because basically, if you love your children here and you want to be around them all the time, there's something wrong with you. Seriously, people think I'm a weirdo, and so I could cope with it for a while. But then the kids started mucking up, so it was, I'll send you to school, and then they wanted to go. So I really put my foot in my mouth with that one.
They all drop their kids off and go to the beach, surf.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
It's not like they're going to work or anything.
Oh, no, they don't work around here. So, yeah, we were like the total weirdos for caring about our kids or, liking them or wanting to homeschool or anything like that or having so many kids. And so, and it is... the town hates religion. The whole town hates religion with a passion. Like, I think we've come to the most unreligious town in Australia because you start, like you say, they don't want to know what you believe, to the point where it's like they're not even rude about it. It's like, oh, we don't celebrate Christmas. Oh, isn't that nice for you? Anyway, like they don't want to know. They know it's something, and they're like, don't even ask. Don't go there. And
hey, honey, it's that Mark and Amy people over there.
And and more stuff's come out because we've put them into school and preschool and stuff. like, you start to say to them, well, they're not allowed to eat this, they're not allowed to do this, they don't do that, we don't, and so they're like, oh, are you Jewish or something? And like, no, and so I've gone to these things with the principal. But Mark wanted to put in something in the school, in the newspaper in town, which is run by the school, and they said that they wouldn't let any down. Yeah, really, seriously. And then he was supposed to be going on the radio to do a radio program. As soon as the school found out about that, they got onto the radio to tell them to shut it down too. Yeah. So Mark got a phone call. No, that's not happening. Sorry. Even though that hurt, like, So it's like, nope, barriers up everywhere. And that was a point in time, I think, when Mark got the call about the radio station, that we were like, maybe we're not meant to be here. Like, and the whole don't throw your, throw your pearls to swine.
I said, let's dust our sandals off and keep going.
Wow.
Yeah, and so...
And guess what article it was I wanted to put in the newspaper? Lou wrote one about how the whole problem with the whole world is that the children aren't taught the 10 Commandments in the schools. And it had a thing of the 10 Commandments.
And they made it?
I guess they didn't like that.
That's the one they said no.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So,
at least
sometimes
we tried.
Witnessing... What's that?
At least we tried.
Yeah. But you know what? Sometimes witnessing, it's not preaching or... It's the only scripture that most people are going to read is the one you live. Yep. It's... People are convicted just by looking at you. And they know. And that in of itself is a witness to them.
It's funny you say that, because it was like, a week after that happened, the radio station thing, and there's people in town to keep giving us furniture. Anyway, this lady rocks up from around the corner, it's really bizarre because it's such a small town, and Mark's like the only real hairdresser in town. He's probably met just about everyone in town. And so they know me as the hairdresser's wife. So I've had random people come up to me and start talking to me like they know me. And I'm like, okay. So this woman came up to me at the op shop one day, and she's like, oh, you're Amy, aren't you? And I'm just like, hi, yes. Like, it freaked me out a bit. But she goes, I've got some beds you can have and stuff. I'm like, okay, sure. She goes, come around and get them. Anyway, so she was giving us some furniture as she cleaned stuff out. And she rocked up at the door one afternoon, just before Sabbath, a couple of hours before Sabbath, we just gotten home from, picked Mark up from work and gotten home, and she came up to ask if we wanted some of these cabinet things or something that she had. So we're like, oh, yeah, and then she started to kind of make conversation and talk a bit, and she said...
Half an hour before this, I was down in the bedroom in the cupboard looking for something, and I found a box from the caravan that had our whole heap of DVDs... seminars, fossilized customs books, some of our music CDs, and I said, oh, look what I found, some bookmarks, a couple of commandments posters.
So then, anyway, she comes up and asks if we want this cabinet, and I was in the middle of cooking, 4 billion things to get ready for the Sabbath. So I kind of called Mark up and said, oh, do you want these cabinets, darling? And kind of just pushed her onto him. And so I could keep going with what I was doing. Anyway, she started saying then, because she's got a son at school, something about, did one of your boys have a birthday? And she was starting to feel around about things because, we don't do the birthdays, so she knew, she'd found out. But she didn't really say that. It was like she was trying to get it out of us somehow.
On the hush.
Yeah, on the hush. But I can't even remember how it ended up starting the conversation.
She said her son doesn't want to do what's the name of the subject?
Oh, the scripture lessons, whatever they call it.
At school.
Yeah, the Christian Bible lessons they do.
She said, do your sons do that? I said, no way. It's like the scripture courses, like the Christian, And I said, no way. I said, we came out of all that. We were in the circus for 20-odd years. Oh, really? And she wanted to know. And so we just gave her the whole story,
Yeah, it was like a couple of hours in. She came in, sat down, we were talking to her about everything. She's so excited. And she goes, I just knew it. I've been watching you, Okay. She goes, I've been watching you and I knew it. I knew there was something about you. She goes, I just from watching you. She goes, I watch you with your kids. I watch the way you do things and I knew there was something. I could just feel it. She goes, this is it. This is it. She goes, I watch you with your children and you don't even yell at them. I said, well, you haven't been watching very closely then, have you?
Well, that's because I do that in the bedroom, but go ahead.
Anyway, you were saying about my perfect mothering. But you know, like you were saying, by watching the behaviour, she said she'd been watching us and she knew, and then she was all excited, and Mark gave her fossilized customs, and we sent her an email and all the stuff, and now I haven't actually spoken to her since then. Only once. I think she popped by with the stuff. But every time we drive past her, she's like, you know, waving all madly and excited and stuff.
It's one of them.
But she's like, she said it as well. She goes, this town hates religion. They hate you if you're religious. She goes, so we'll keep this as our little secret. I won't tell anyone.
Wow, that's fun.
So
you can start up a secret society now, you know?
Because I was feeling really like it had been a couple of months and I hadn't told anybody. Like the door just wasn't opening for the conversations.
When you start those things like, we don't celebrate Christmas, and you're thinking, come on, ask me why, and they
at
go,
Christmas time.
yeah, and they go, that's nice for you, anyway.
Yeah.
Sydney, everyone bites in Sydney or anywhere else we've ever been. Why don't you do that?
Yeah.
If they have something negative to say, they always bite to that, little thing. Not here.
I think I had one or two clients that I've given the whole spiel to, and because they're so spiritual, like when we say they're not religious, they're all into
New Age.
They're very New Age, very hippie like, spiritual in their own way.
And yet I'm the weird hippie here.
I had this old lady the other day, bleached white hair. She's got to be 70 years old. Bleached white hair. She's going on a date with some French man, and so this is Bridget. Yeah. And the universe has something in store for me tonight. And I'm like, did it tell you that? Did it?
What about me?
Tell you that, and then
this woman is a psycho. She lives down the road. She'd come to the house when we're not here.
Yeah.
And we were like driving past and seeing a car, and we're like, quick, keep driving!
And I've got the Irish beautician standing next to me talking to her while I'm doing her hair. Don't you believe in that, Mark? If you're telling me the universe is telling you things, no, I don't believe that. Sorry, that's not in me. Don't you believe what goes around comes around? I said, well, we've got Justin Timberlake here now too, have we?
And yet we're weird. Apparently we're weird.
Yeah.
Because we don't listen to the universe.
You don't?
No. So we're just trying to have a bit of fun with it now.
Yeah. Wow. And you're the strange ones.
Yeah. So
so weird, isn't it?
we're starting to enjoy it a bit. We were struggling in the beginning, like the paper fell through, the radio fell through. Nobody was really interested. I talk to a couple of people these days, but not a lot. And so we were just waiting, and a month or so ago, Chris and Victoria, I think. Victoria said to me, the thing I've learned, because she's been in the salon a lot lately, practicing this, she said, the best thing to do is just tell the truth. You don't have to witness, If they ask you a question, instead of like freezing or freaking out or replaying it and where's this gonna go, she just said, just tell the truth.
To that question.
You don't
have to say anything more. You just answer that question and tell the truth.
To that question,
So,
which is great, because then I think a week or so after that, I was talking to Lou about it, and he said the same thing. Just answer that question.
Yeah.
Some people asked him about his zeet, and he said, that's just to remind me of something. So, that's all I got.
Let him keep asking. I remember watching that.
Don't ask, don't tell. It's like, we're not there to be a freak show. We just tell the truth. And I think YAHUSHA tells you as well, when someone's genuine.
Yeah.
Like this lady that came past, like I sat there for hours with her because she was genuine.
But that's the thing too, when you're in the circus and you meet those people, like the guy we met at the beach,
Yeah.
if they're trying to witness to you or telling you more than you asked, you just you're like you just want to say to them, go away, leave me alone. And so I think from if we come along and start doing that to other people, you look pushy, you look annoying, and you look like a weirdo that people block out to what you're saying, and they're just watching what you're doing, and they're going, I don't want a bar of it. You know, like the Jehovah's Witnesses that come around knocking on your door annoying you. Nobody wants to become a Jehovah's Witness. They don't want to do that. So, you got to sort of, if you're just answering a question and you don't look like you're desperate to tell someone something, if you're just sort of like, that, whatever, then people, their curiosity peaks and they're kind of just like, but why? But what? And then they're the one looking desperate and you look cool.
That's in our future. That's in our future, to look cool.
Yeah.
Now, religion's really stuffed up the scriptures, stuffed up the reputation of the scriptures.
Yes.
So, you say scripture, they think you're Christian. You say Torah, they think you're Jewish. So it's none of it. You just, so things. I just I look at how things used to be, how people used to live, the Hebrew roots, how things. There was only one language. There's only
how it was meant to be.
There's only one way, and it was Yahuwah's way, the Ten Commandments. So,
see, there's a couple guys at work. Not that I'm trying to talk about work, but one of them had just left for a new position.
Aren't you allowed to talk about work on the Sabbath?
Yeah. But
there's no one listening. Wow. They got some pretty strict rules on you.
But he
you can't drink coffee either.
Yes.
Really?
I didn't have this. I'm gonna have to delete that.
Like hell.
Exactly. Buddy, I feel sorry for you. Honey, give me another pot. Whatever. Oh man.
There's a lady yesterday in the salon who said she worked for some kind of Jewish college, and they're not even allowed to go and turn the lights on. They hire somebody to come and turn their lights on.
But you're paying someone to work on the Sabbath.
And I said to her, because she's not religious, funnily enough, and I said, so they're paying someone to go and turn the lights on for them. I kind of don't think that they're understanding the rest idea of the Sabbath.
But I've heard of people. Someone said to me in this town when they said to me, "Are you Jewish? Are you allowed to do anything on the Sabbath?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, we sort of watch TV. So you're allowed to turn the TV on?" I was like, "Yes." You're allowed electricity? I was like, "Yes, we are civilized still." Yeah, we are also allowed to bathe. I know. We don't have to smell.
Yeah. Smell my armpit.
Sabbath today.
Yeah, people get strange, man.
Just don't light fires. That's the only thing. Just don't light a fire.
Yeah.
It's easy.
Yeah, this guy at work, No, it's okay.
You were saying.
Just don't let it happen again. But
He's a security guy.
Yeah, security detail.
But yeah, we were alone. We were taking metal, cleaning out the shop, taking metal to the scrap yard, and he just started asking questions. So, Hector, what do you believe exactly? I'm like, I go, Craig, just remember. You asked. Let's just get that straight.
That's good.
Ask first.
Disclaimer at the beginning of the message.
Just get it done and over with, And, but this guy is like you would say, he's full on. He has like ammo, guns. He said he has over 10,000 bullets.
Yeah.
He even has like, he showed me in the back of his vehicle, he had 7 rolls of barbed wire. He's like, Hector, I know something's coming, and I'm ready.
Paranoid much?
Yeah, I'm like, yes, buddy, you are, you know. And, hey, hi, sweetie.
Hi, Alina.
Oh no. Okay, we're going. Say good night, everybody.
Night night.
Hello. Yeah.
Well, you
Who are they?
Cameron.
It's so cute. Oh, she's getting big.
Yeah, she's nearly 2.
Wow.
How old's she?
Yeah, she's 2 in June.
2. Mm. Yeah.
But
Oh yeah, everybody knows something's coming. Even the yeah, that's right. I've spoken to a couple of clients and they'll say, oh yeah, we've heard that the scientists they think the minute I say something about the sun, they'll say, oh yeah, everybody's saying that the whole science community is waiting for, you only have to, the sun only has to cough, burp. The sun only has to do something, and we're gone.
Achoo.
The scientists are just are shocked that it hasn't happened already. I think.
Yeah.
So to say that the Earth's going to be burnt, they're like, oh yeah. It's not a big
That's exactly, and it's. I mean, it is. It's people know. They know something's around.
Mm.
It's amazing how you tell them, well, here, you can have the whole story right here and the ending,
Yeah.
But it's no, that can't be, that's because scientists didn't say that.
Mm.
They're so stuck on man. They're so stuck on, well, if it hasn't been approved by Professor so and so. It's like how.
Yeah, if they don't have a title.
Yeah. It's like when people, we don't take our kids to the hospital. What? You didn't get the approval of a doctor that your kid's going to be okay? Are you kidding me? It's just funny, man. People are weird like that. But
it's amazing how many films and TV shows and stuff that they're starting to bring all these themes into. The end, this massive, every show we watch now, even the ones that don't come across that way, there's this big spiritual light and darkness, good and evil thing happening.
Yeah.
That's why we're a bit late tonight. We're watching this TV show. It's called 666 Park Avenue. Mixing with demonic forces.
Awesome.
Have you heard of that one? We're just watching it going, oh my goodness. It's like this this high class hotel, and it's just like a real sophisticated 21st century version of a haunted house. But everybody's in suit, nobody can leave, all this stuff that goes back. There's this secret society, this secret order of the dragon, that was like a century old, and we're just watching it going, this is fantastic. They don't even know.
Yeah.
Isn't
that funny?
Yeah.
It's wow.
Yeah. And there's elevator doors going on people's heads, and it's all fantastic. It's great. People getting sucked into walls, and people talking through mirrors, and all this madness. We're just watching it going, I'm sure people are scared by this,
And yet we're the strange ones.
Yeah. It's got that bald-headed guy out of Lost, and the guy that used to be in the wheelchair in Lost. Yeah. And
I haven't seen that in a long time.
Anyway, I said to Amy tonight, he's going to end up being Satan, I bet, because he's the top guy, and no one knows why, what's going on. I said, he's got to be Satan, Season 10, they'll reveal that.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Oh, man.
definitely going on. Everybody knows something's going on.
Yeah.
I think all the spirit realm is just screaming, trying to grab as many people as they can.
Yeah. It's I like the things that are happening around the world. Australia with the asteroids and
No, it's Russia.
what did I say?
Australia.
Oh yeah.
No, I didn't see any asteroids.
Russia. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, on YouTube they have. I guess in Russia, it's common for vehicles to have dash cams.
Oh.
Yeah, so like, I mean, just, like how usually around here it's police vehicles that have the dash cams. Well, apparently in Australia it's just or in Russia, it's a common thing. I mean, it's like everybody has a dash cam in their vehicle. So when this event was happening, a lot of those folks uploaded those videos. So like you see all these dash cams and like, I mean, you imagine that? I mean, you would have to think it's the end of the world. This is it. It's just like, and you watch some, it's like, wow, man, this is crazy. This is, how do you not wake up after seeing something like that?
It's like something out of a movie, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's insane.
And then, just like all these strange, just beaches, with whales and dolphins just coming to shore, birds just falling out of the sky. I mean, you imagine seeing that, seeing a bird and he just falls. I mean, that's just crazy, just crazy things. But it's just, we're not the only ones ready for the end. We're not the only ones, just the earth itself is just, let's do this, let's get it done and over with already.
Yeah.
It's the earth itself is almost being a witness to these things, and people are just not. It's it's telling us, hey, go out there and blow the shofar. Warn the people, let them know. Yeah. It's not for us to fear. It's just for us to just, hey, it's time's close. Warn them, let them know.
Yeah. YAHUSHA's definitely doing something. And he's doing it in everybody. That's what I've found, talking to people, that everybody's going, like, through the same thing. Like, everybody's going through the same thing. Like, people our age, people double our age are going through the same, like, people, like, material things isn't part of it. Like, it's, I used to, when we first became Natsurum, like, my whole business went down because I was so angry at, I was coveting everything Chris and Victoria had. I was so, because I lived around the corner and my salon was around the corner. My salon wasn't as good as theirs, and like, I was just having this. I went insane, and breaking a commandment. Do not cut. Like, I came out at my age with what I had, and they came out at their age of the system with what they had. And so, but every year come Passover time, we share, and we're sharing all the time, and everybody's going through the same thing. It's not about a material thing. YAHUSHA's like, wants this to happen in the world, he could supernaturally do it all, but he wants people to choose him. He wants people to, wake up.
Yeah.
So that cleansing process is so important. We have to overcome. Like, I sit here now. This little laptop we've got now is all I've got left. It's a laptop. It's what the kids watch TV on. It's the only form of entertainment we have in this house.
Yeah.
And some days you just sit there and go, why did I get rid of my massive screen TVs and all my computers and everything we had, everything. And then you want to exercise, and my treadmill's gone. I got to go walk along the beach. It's like,
that's terrible, man.
And I know, but and we didn't even have that much staff. But you're going through this cleansing thing where you're just like, stop complaining. I hate complaining. I hate people who complain. Like, it's not, Yeah. And Chris has been saying for 20 years, stop complaining, Mark. Stop complaining. YAHUSHA hates complaining. You know?
Yeah.
So now we just like get on with it. You know, we've made a year plan. Amy's going to finish her beauty therapy course, and then we're going to reassess, get a few things for the van that we need, and then go out again. And we think, well, I think having so many children gives you that perspective, because if you had 1 or 2 children, you know, fairly spaced apart, it doesn't affect your life as much as 5 kids under 7,
Yeah.
under 8 now. Like, you just think, we're in this really old house now, really old crappy house, and we're like, it's quite a relief. Like, you don't have to be so paranoid with. We had some hideous renter in here before us. It's like an old government house, and there's holes in the walls, and there's, you know, the putted them up, and there's little holes everywhere, and there's scratches, and we're just like, we don't have to feel so bad.
Yeah.
Yep.
They can't do anything to this place.
Take your shoes off. Don't walk on the carpet. Oh my gosh. You know.
So we're getting over the whole material thing, because we've been through stages where we've had a lot, and the credit just kills you, you know. And we've been through things where we don't have much now, but it's a much better lifestyle, and so it's just about getting out there and, you know, mainly teaching your kids the right way too.
Yeah.
I've been through that a lot lately, just how their behaviours, and, you know, us behaving properly to them, because they only mimic the wrong behaviours. So
That we do. Yeah.
we do.
Yeah, it's like when I see the disrespect sometimes that my children do towards me, I think back of the way I've talked to them and pointed at them, and I'm like, oh, well, they learned it from somewhere, and I'm the only one they're around, so oops, yeah, they learned it from someone.
Yeah, him. Yeah.
So like, you want your children to respect you. You know, they were created by our Father, and we need to respect them. They're not these little things just to boss around and tell what to do. You know, they're
not.
Sorry. You know, they weren't given to be our little slaves and our little robots, you know. And sometimes, at least for me, I get in these, you know, over and over. I'm just like, it's like I'm just yapping my mouth at them, and they're not learning anything except disrespect, and, you know, and you just really gotta, I go to bed at night and like, oh, all right, tomorrow's a new day. Gotta do better.
Yep.
Try not to raise your voice 20 times, maybe 10, not 20.
Yep.
And every day it's a challenge, and, you know, just showing them, you know, it's like you see how you talk to other people, and then you see how you talk to your children, and it's like, wait a minute, what's wrong with this picture? You know, and
so we got to yell at you a couple times just to even out the plane.
Don't you dare talk to me like that.
You want a piece of me?
Yeah, you just gotta sit back and actually enjoy them.
Yeah.
Don't be in such a rush to go off to do something else. Oh, shoo, go away. I'm doing something else right now. And, you know, say yes more than you're telling them no, not right now, later, in a minute, hold on a second. Be quiet. I'm trying to listen to this. It gets real repetitive sometimes, and I realize I'm annoying myself, you know. I'm getting on my own nerves and his.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it after this.
Wait till we turn the camera off. But yeah, just sit back and enjoy, and don't be so uptight. Show them the love, you know. One day, we'll eventually get there.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, same here. We're going through the same thing. Exactly the same thing. Food is a big thing. Yeah, we're kind of food junkies. We didn't go through the drug scene or anything like that. A lot of people we know went through the drug scene, came out of the drug scene, smokes, drugs, things like that. We went to the food scene, still trying to come out. You just you try and do a diet or a fast or things like that, and you just want to go to one of those. Mental institutes and lay there in the position of sweat.
In a padded room.
It's just like, what is wrong with me? I've got more control than this. You don't. Yeah, and that's what happens. You do these things, and then 3 days later, you're just like, I'm going down to get some chips. And then your eyes light up, and there's life back in you. Yeah. Amy just every time I have a glass of Pepsi, or whatever, Amy looks at me and she goes, "You've got a problem."
I tell him, I'm like, GMO.
It's like those things where the light comes into your eyes and just it's just insane. But you go down to the beach with the kids and they're like, how come you just sit there every time? How come you don't come and because I'm fat and lazy. It's like there's a problem when you're getting it from your kids now. So it's we're getting our act together, pulling our socks up there. That's the main thing because it affects you too. The food is such a bad thing these days.
Yeah.
It never used to be, but it is now. So.
It's my wife and I were just talking earlier today how we saw on Facebook how these people did an experiment with Kraft, and overseas outside of the United States, they use natural additives for the coloring, like achote or annatto to color the food. And here in the States, they use yellow 5 and all this garbage, that comes from petroleum. It's like, the food didn't taste any different. It didn't look any different. So why is it they're adding this stuff to our food? But yesterday we just joined for the first time a
food co-op?
A co-op, an organic co-op. And, it's
expensive.
It's expensive. But you know what, man? It's worth it,
You find that a few times there's not much in this town, but other times we've joined an organic thing. Amy says the kids are full. Like an apple is not an apple. An apple is like 3 apples. They're full.
Yeah.
And so that's great. You spend a bit more, but you're not actually
eating as much.
It's evening out because they're not eating as much food.
Yeah. So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
In fact,
just sticking with it, that's hard.
Yeah. She even looked into opening an organic store here, but she loves all that stuff, organic, natural things. But we decided we didn't really want to be, after the last the salon, we didn't really want to be stuck somewhere.
Yeah.
It's all exciting when you're planning and all that sort of thing, but and we worked out we could afford to open, quite cheaply, but we just I don't want to be stuck. I don't want to be stuck,
Yeah.
So I want to be, able to up and move if we need to.
Yeah.
And the job I got is great for that.
Yeah.
All care, no responsibility. So yeah.
Now that van that you guys have, is that a van or is that a camper van or
the actual car?
The gray vehicle that you drive?
Yeah, it's a bus.
How many does it seat?
14? 1, 2, 3, 12.
We heard that.
12.
Wow.
Seats 12. Yeah.
Awesome.
And you can't really get full. Well, see, we could, if we didn't have any. Well, right now we could fit our family into a 4-wheel drive type vehicle.
Are you?
Eh?
Are you?
Oh well, yeah. We'd need 7 seats. So one of those 4-wheel drive Jeep sort of things. We could fit our family into one of those, but when we left Sydney, we needed our caravan, camper van type things. You wind it up, pull the sides out. There's not really a lot of storage space, so we needed the actual car for that. So, that's why.
Yeah, no, that's a cool vehicle.
Yeah, it's neat.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, and there's no carpet in it, so you just you sweep it out. It's like a real bus, Sweep it out, vacuum it out, it stays clean. I even get the mop the floors, and
Oh, that's cool.
We haven't found anything like that here because we have the the SUV.
Yeah.
And it seats 7. How many does it seat? No, it seats 8.
8.
But it's filling up quickly. Once everybody's in there, you have no room for anything. You can't pack anything. So we've looked at options to get something bigger that's not going to be using a ton of gas, and we can still have room, but we haven't found anything yet.
So yeah, we saw your vehicle, and that's like perfect.
Yeah.
It's a Ford Transit.
Ford Transit.
Ford Transit.
Do you have the brand Ford over there?
Yeah, that's what we have a Ford Expedition. That's what we drive.
Well, this is a Ford Transit.
Okay.
In fact, most of the time when we'd seen them, they weren't for passengers. They were white, and they'd have the windows covered, and they were like utility vans.
Oh, I know what he has.
Okay.
I've seen a couple of those on my way to work. I thought that looked familiar. Yes.
Yeah.
It doesn't have windows though. It's like
white.
It's like a modern van.
Yeah, they open the back doors and they got all the shells.
Yeah.
So, but they've obviously made some for
to have seats.
Yeah, and we were really blessed that the guy who sold it to us has a little school bus, like a little private school bus company. So it used to get serviced every 10 weeks in order for him to keep his, his certificate, his insurance, license, all that sort of thing. Because it's got to be safe when you're running kids around. So we got a great deal. It was it's only a few, 10 years maybe, I don't know, old. It was only 16 grand. Down from about, it was advertised for 19, I think. Well, we got it for 16. And,
wow.
It looks brand new.
Yeah, it's a really good deal.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome for you guys, man.
We just have to keep the tow bar is very low down.
Yeah.
And so put we had to get a tow bar that sort of does this, comes out in order to keep everything up, and then but you're still this far from the ground when you hook the caravan onto it. You're this far from the ground. So when we got rescued off that dirt track, the guy said, "You're riding too low. Look at the chains that are holding it. Like you got your safety chains on." He said the chains are all wearing out, because they're dragging on the ground. But I don't think they were. I think it's because sometimes when you go over a driveway, it scrapes a bit.
Yeah.
But so that's when we realised next time when we hit the road, we have to lighten the load a lot more.
Have you thought about a weight distributing hitch?
We've been told things like that. 3 or 4 different things have been recommended. The things that hinge up probably what I'm saying.
It takes that pivot point and
lifts it up
across the vehicle,
pushes you up. It's like it. So then you can. I mean, it'll give you sometimes an extra 250 extra pounds that you can work with. You know what I mean? It's a little. I mean, you can find some relatively decently priced ones out there, and it'd be well worth it for you because is your vehicle, I'm assuming it's real wheel drive?
I don't know. I don't know. I think.
Yeah, it helps distribute your weight You know, instead of you being weighed down at the rear end, it'll distribute. It's Dante.
Go on, mate. The boys are up. Must be safe.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I would look into that. You know, that way you're not limited on what you can take with you. You know what I mean?
That's a great idea. I think it was going to be a couple of $1,000 to get a decent one, but it would be, I think, a 1,500 or something like that in order to. But it'd be worth doing it as far as a safety too. In fact, other guys in the caravan park said there's things you can put in your engine to turn your to take your engine from whatever this is to like double the power of it or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like a little thing they stick with it.
Also, look more into the weight distributing hitch, because you should be able to find one for a few $100s.
Yeah.
Like $200-300.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be a really extravagant piece of device. You know what I mean? I'd be a little concerned with messing with your engine like that.
Yeah, I don't think. Well, it won't be me.
Yeah. But yeah, I'd look more.
I used to choose my cars by colour. The red ones go really fast.
Yeah, right. Got a can of paint here for you.
So little things like that, you know, inverters, generators, better. We bought a lot of things on the cheap because we had a certain budget, and the generator's like carrying a lawnmower around. Like, it's just huge, you know.
Yeah.
And not particularly powerful. So, you get these little things now that are, Honda generators. They're like little carry case, they're plastic looking.
Yeah.
It's like, but they were a couple of $1,000s, and the one we got was like $400, $500. So, so if you do it properly, then you're set. It's not as heavy, and so that's another one of our plans anyway. Just to be a bit more prepared. People had told us, do you think you should go out camping for a few weeks first before you do this? We'll be all right, mate. You're fine, And we were fine, but we had a couple of experiences, And
that's all good, though,
it's all good.
Yeah, that's part of it. Just go at it full on.
That's it. But there's so many beautiful spots in Australia, and we just thought, the kids will just love that,
Yeah.
And
Well, we watched the videos when you would put them up, man. Australia is very, very beautiful. I was kind of mad, though, that you didn't go into that cave. That would have been cool to see.
Yeah, well, we couldn't get in there.
Yeah. Oh, you could have.
Well, we had 2 screaming kids up on the rock.
Yeah. Nah, you said, oh, no, we can't go in. I'm like, yes, you can. Go, come on. That would have been really cool to see.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that was neat, man. I was like, wow, how awesome is that, man? That's...
Very beautiful.
Yeah. I probably would have stayed there.
The key is to not think that this is going to be forever. That was my problem. I'm not handy at all in anything, and I thought, this is our life, I suck at this, and it's, but then we realised, you saying this, I'm not sure. No. So we realised, travel a bit, put your roots down for a while, travel a bit, like nothing's in concrete. Find towns that don't have a hairdresser or a beauty therapist, things like that. Make a small fortune, keep going again. Like everything is, just go with the flow.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's pretty cool though. How you can take your trade on the road like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's awesome. That's. See, I'm a mechanic by trade, so for me to do that. I mean, I have to bring tools with me, and they're not light. It's funny because sometimes Chris cracks me up, man. That guy is funny. But I had a picture of a broom deal that I fabricated, and he says, man, he's chuckling because I can imagine using that in my salon. I'm like, yeah, that'd be That'd be pretty wild.
That's funny, those videos you put up. All these pictures. What on earth is that? Where do you find this stuff?
But
Where do you hang out?
Were you
What's that?
guys looking into traveling? What happened with those plans?
well, for right now, we
Kind of how like you guys are. We're taking this year to get our debt paid off and save up for a camper that will work for us.
Yeah.
Something that we can all fit in. And so, because we've had the pop-up, like what you guys have, we've had that, and we've outgrown that. And since the children are getting older, they need a little bit more, not too much more space, but they do need a little bit more room. And so now we're just taking this next year to really get things paid off and get a little bit more comfortable financially. Not rich, but at least so we don't have the bills.
Yeah.
And
yeah, we had a camper. A funny story, real quick.
Did you get rid of it, or do you still own it?
No, we got rid of it.
Yeah, we got rid of
we
it.
sold it. We were, I don't know how your guys was set up, but ours, how you got to slide the bed out.
Yeah.
Then you got these poles that go underneath it.
Same.
I mean, the very, real strong poles. You know what I mean?
Oh no. I don't think I want to hear this story because I'm terrified every time I get into bed. This bed's
Yeah.
See, don't tell me this story. I won't be able to sleep in it ever again.
No, hey, we get in there. Here I thought I was going to get frisky in the camper, and dude, the bar's bent. We're like, oh!
don't move.
It's like we were hanging at the edge of a cliff, you know what I mean? Every sudden move, you were done. We're like, don't move! People outside can hear you, This bed is hanging. I'm like, I'll get off really slow. So, every move you
comes
make.
and lands on it.
At that point, I think the only thing that was holding us up was the canvas, Buddy, I get off that thing. I go running outside in my underwears, and I'm holding this. I got you, baby. It's okay. I'm under here. Buddy, these bars were bent, bro. I'm like, so now we were very fortunate that they didn't bend to the point where it kinked.
Yeah.
Because it's tube.
Yeah.
So it bent enough to where I was able to straighten it back out and.
What, you got back on the bed?
No.
No.
Oh my goodness.
Well, see, it had two ends. Like one end was like a full size, and the other end was a king. And we usually sleep on the king size end, but it was really cold, so we had blankets up to block that side to keep the other side warm. So we actually got on the kids' bed and had them sleep where the table was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so then we used that side for storage.
Yeah.
but Hector, he actually jumped in bed. He didn't carefully. He because I was on the inside, so he jumped over me. And as soon as he landed, boom! It just bent.
I'm thinking tonight's the night, boy. I'm coming in like tight,
No, listen. Layla was only 2 weeks old.
Yeah.
Nothing was happening.
You were just way off there.
No,
You deserved that.
Very insensitive. Oh. That's the one thing we were concerned about. We never took for granted those poles. We were always, yeah.
I climbed in really slowly, and I'd have to lay there for about half an hour just to make sure that I didn't get out of bed, freaked out, and I'd check the Velcro, because I thought I'd lean against the side or something, and Velcro would come undone, I'd roll because that's on the edge.
Yeah.
I know.
So I can see that happening now. Mark's forgot to put the Velcro on or something. In the middle of the night, I'm going to wake up on the grass outside.
Oh, man.
So next time, if we get a camper like that, we're going to get some cinder blocks
To prop up the end.
to prop it up.
You know, it's funny. I'm thinking. I look back at them like, man, could you imagine if we would have fell through? You know, here we are outside in our undies. You know, I mean, start running around the camper trying to get in real quick.
The door's locked.
Kids, let us in.
Then they're turning on the outside light.
That's funny.
Coming outside with focus light. What's going on out there? You know? Trying to crawl back in through the canvas, you know. Oh man, dude, those are some times, you know. I was so mad too. Oh god.
Yeah, we weren't laughing then.
No.
Yeah, I was. Then you get on the bed like a cat, you know.
Oh man.
Oh gosh, that's.
You know, I'm going to think of that story every time I get into bed now.
She will.
I think I'll be taking the bed where the dining table is from now on.
Oh my gosh, man.
Yeah.
I'm thinking next time we're getting an RV. No more of this. This is ridiculous.
And it was super, super cold out. It was below freezing.
Oh.
And
Really?
yeah, it
They
was.
get cold, don't they?
It was a little crazy. That was when we moved down to Texas, but we moved down there in the middle of winter, so they had a 1 week. The 1 week we were camping and all this happened, it was their coldest week that they had in like 4 years.
Oh no.
And
Yeah.
it happened that we decided to camp and fall out of our camper.
Yeah. Crazy, man. Just crazy moments.
Kids just sleep right through it.
Actually, I think they did.
Yeah.
Except Layla, because she was in bed with us, and I'm like, save the baby!
We were like,
in the bed with us, and I so she's gonna roll out.
Yeah. I'm like holding her up in the air, save the baby!
You have lived out what I thought of every single night sleeping in that
The worst
camper.
nightmare, you just confirmed it.
And Mark would just be like, "Oh, would you stop being ridiculous?" I'm like, "No, I'm sure it would happen." And now I know it does happen.
it does happen, yeah.
other
Don't
fear-
jump on bed.
Don't
My
jump
other-
on it.
I'll kill him.
Yeah.
My other fear is that people come up and like open the Velcro in the middle of the night and like grab me out of the bed.
You know, I fear that happening to the kids. Like they'd be there and somebody, you know, and just pull them right out.
Oh, I don't care. They can take one of the kids. That's one less. But me, no.
That's another story.
Yeah, no. You're in the middle of the bush. Mark's like, we're at this one spot when we went to the Great Ocean Road. Actually, it was the night when we got that message from you. Well, we got it in the morning about the pregnancy, and I was like, yeah, they're pregnant. Yeah, all excited. But that night we stayed in this little tiny dead town. It was Christmas Eve, so the whole town's dead. We're in this like parking lot area. There's no one in sight. And I'm laying there in bed going, oh my goodness, I'm terrified. Mark goes, what's wrong with you? There's no one around. I said, yeah, perfect time for someone to come and kill us when there's no one around.
Jeez.
The next
I'm the only one that thinks that.
The next night, we stay in this like campgrounds. There's people everywhere. And I'm just like, oh, I can sleep better tonight. And I do doze off to sleep easily. Mark's like, are you serious? This is the time to be worried when there's actually people around. I was like, no, there's no people around. The murderers won't be here.
Yep.
There's more witnesses to that crime or more people to choose from. There won't be. But you know, I trust, I'm protected.
Yeah.
So you can see my pregnancy and childbirth fears and all those things.
Just don't jump on the bed.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I think it's a woman thing. I really do. We think of the absolute worst scenario to be prepared for, you know?
Yeah.
Like he'll see this beautiful house and I'll be like, what if that big beam falls? You know? Because they have these beautiful houses with the beam ceilings and they're real pretty. And then I'm like, well, what if it rots and falls on us?
Thanks the worst.
It's mother instinct to protect your babies.
You guys can call it whatever you want. Justify however you want to.
I will.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, thanks for that story. So tomorrow we'll be selling our caravan.
No, dude, you guys got a pretty nice setup though.
Yeah, you do. I really like what you call the annex. That is awesome. That adds like an extra room for you.
Yeah.
For during the day.
See, we didn't have that.
Yeah, well, you can get ones that go right around onto the shower side as well, because there's a shower on the side of the van. So instead, because we had these little cheap things that blow in the wind, these little tiny little cubicle tent things, and you stand there, it's blowing in the wind. It's trying to shower.
But it's got a little Velcro, a little thing where you can look at this little window and watch people drive past while you're in the shower.
That's got to be strange, huh?
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm like, oh my goodness, okay. I'm feeling a bit awkward now.
That's got to be a little strange,
So you can, if you spend a little bit of money, you can get the annex that goes like around the other side of it as well. If you're going to stay put in it for a little while. So, well, that's a great idea. The kids can spread out a bit more, and just a bit of pre-thought, bit of
How did the solar panels work out?
Oh, amazing!
They are fantastic when they work.
They didn't work towards the end because I think the wiring got waterlogged. I have to get someone to look into it.
Okay.
But we think there's this screw that I tightened up because I was being all handy when we were trying to get to fix it. So I was like, let's just tighten everything on there. So I did. And then they worked again for a day or two. But I think that bumping and things, it came loose a bit. And maybe the silicone's come loose on it and gotten some water in it. It's just the connection between the solar panels and the battery seems to have, something's happened there. So it's not charging the battery anymore.
Well,
but gee, they're awesome.
Oh, it happened right after I cleaned them. It happened right after I cleaned them because they were getting really dirty. And like the dirtier they get, the less sunshine going. So I cleaned them. Go to a bit of a hose and everything, and then after that they started to go on the fritz, so that it's a bit of a water thing.
Oh, okay.
But we see a lot of caravans with these little solar panels on there, and we're like, oh, cool. We got these two huge things like the size of the door, and we just, you'll take the battery down overnight. If you got your computers and things on, it goes down, but even in the dark, it goes right back up again. We're like.
You get up for breakfast and you're like, "Oh, battery's full again already."
Just like
was it hard to install them?
No, you just.
It wasn't hard for me at all.
Dad and I did it. We just screwed the panels on the roof, and then we got a little box, and then it was just a matter of running. He drilled a tiny little hole in the roof of the caravan, just where all the other leads were coming down, and just put them with the other leads, and then we just screwed it onto one of the sideboards, and then attached it to the battery, and it was working great for most of the time we were there. And
wow,
they were huge, very powerful. It was silicone and everything, so it was waterproof. So I think someone might have because they don't really think
it's cutting out.
They don't really think these things through. They put the the cigarette lighter attachment, the 9-volt, is it? The 9-volt power point right next to the sink.
So every time you're washing up, you splash it.
Yeah. So I had to really clean out the socket. I had to get sandpaper because it started to rust.
Wow.
Because it's right next to the sink. So then we put a plastic cup over it with a hole in it, so that the water couldn't go in. So we had to do that.
One thing that'll help with that is it's called dielectric grease.
Okay.
So just future reference. It's like a white, clear, silicone-looking grease.
There was a lot of grease in it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's meant for electrical parts that are prone to get wet.
Okay.
And you just throw some of that on there, and it'll prevent rusting, corrosion,
that's good to know.
you just have a solid connection all the time. So, something to think about. But you do that with also, like I use it with like your trailer connections outside, your electrical connections. Just throw a little dielectric grease in there, and It's outside. It's electrical connector, so it helps keeps moisture out. Keeps it's a rust inhibitor. So you have fuses that are outside. You can anything electrical that is prone to get wet, build up corrosion. It's good to use that. Your battery cables, terminals on your battery. You can use it on that. So.
What is this? What is this?
Oh, we better let you guys go. Your kids probably want breakfast.
I'm getting hungry. But it was nice chatting with you guys, man.
Oh, after 1 in the morning there, huh?
Oh yeah, that's right. It's late for you guys.
Yeah, 20 past 1 a.m.
It's all good.
That's nice. It's been fun.
You guys will have some good sleep tonight.
Yeah.
Crawl into bed real slow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I think while we've got an actual bed, it's nice to just bounce in to make the most of it.
Yeah.
Get it out of our system.
Yeah. Well, we love you guys. It's
Yeah.
lovely hanging out.
Love you too, man. Good talking to you guys.
It's been great. See ya.
See you guys.
Say bye-bye. Shabbat shalom.
Yeah, Shabbat Shalom to you too.
See ya.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night. Hang up first. Good night.